Hey guys, it's Natalia and welcome back to Glossy Confidential. I'm here today to start my makeup breakdown videos. Basically what I'm going to do is sort of like skincare month, which I did in January. I'll link those videos down below. I am going to go through and break down all the makeup that I've got in different sort of categories and show you everything they've got in those categories. Give you mini reviews on them, whether I like them, whether I don't like them, and then at the end of that particular category then I'll do like a top products of what I just spoke about. So to kick off my makeup part of things, I know I had a few people asking if I was going to be doing this, and I certainly am. I'm really looking forward to this. This is going to take a long time to do, I think, just because I really want to go in and talk about all the things I've got, and let's be honest, I have a lot. So I'm going to go back right to the beginning today and talk about primers. I'm going to be specifically talking about face primers. So I'm going to go in no particular order. One I've got here is from the makeup store. This is part of their skincare system range, and this is just called a skin serum. This is a thick, clear consistency. I use this one when I feel like my face has got a little bit of a texture to it, like when I feel sort of like blind pimples or just like a bit of crap is under my skin that I just need to sort of hide. I'll put this on because this will just smooth over everything, and everything you've got will become smoother. It'll blur over fine lines, it'll sort of fill in a few pores, and it just leaves your skin feeling really, really fresh. It adds hydration to your skin as well, so if you are quite dry, this is a really good one to put on underneath your foundation. It helps your foundation last a bit longer. It's just one of those products that does everything that you sort of need without being too much and too much effort. So I really do like that one. I really recommend that one. Another one I've got here is from MAC. This is the MAC Prep and Prime Skin-Based Visage. And this one is sort of like a pearlescent sort of white cream. It adds a little bit of a glow, but it adds a lot of moisture. I feel like it does help my foundation last a bit longer. It doesn't do so much on oil control around my nose. I generally do get quite oily around my T-zone after about maybe 4 or 5 hours. So I do sort of like foundation primers that sort of help combat that. Otherwise I do have to make sure I have powders with me to blot and stuff like that throughout the day. But I do like this one. I've had this one for quite a while. I just like the way this one looks underneath my skin. It's one of those primers that it's just a cream and you put it on, but when you look at the foundation, the way the foundation is sitting on your skin and just the way it looks and sort of glows, it's not as opalescent as their strobe cream, but it does still have that nice glow, but it is very hydrating. So if you are dry, that is a really good one to have. Talking about MAC strobe cream, I don't have that one, but a really good dupe for that one is the L'Oreal Lumi Magique Base Pure Light Primer. This is, again, it's sort of like an illuminating primer, so it's like a opalized white cream that you'd put on under your foundation, and I use this one mainly when I'm using like a full coverage foundation. The ones that can look quite matte and heavy on your skin, if I put this underneath, it just brings out your skin like a lit from within glow. It's just a really, really gorgeous, gorgeous finish. You can get it from the drugstore, even though it is a little bit expensive being L'Oreal here in Australia. But it's one of those things that just really gives you that beautiful glow, and I think it's amazing. That one I think I'll always have in my stash as well. So another one I've got here, and this is one of those cult products that everyone loves and raves. This is the Hourglass Mineral Veil Primer. I have done a full review of this one. If you are interested, I'll link that one down below. To be perfectly honest, this is a load of crap. What the hype about this product is, I have got no idea. It's basically a sunscreen that they're pulling off as a high-end primer. It doesn't control oil, it doesn't help my foundation last any longer. It actually makes me oilier. It makes my face incredibly oily and greasy. My foundation slips all over my face. It does nothing to hide pores. It does nothing to do anything. It is an absolute waste of time, if you ask me, and I have heard from a lot of people who think the same thing, so I'm not too sure who made the hype about that one, but it sucks. Ooh. Another cult product here I've got is the Benefit POREfessional. This is a mini sample. These will last you at least 4 or 5 months if you use it every day. You do not need much of this. You need like a pea-size amount, and you basically just push it in where you've got pores, fine lines, anything that you want to sort of blur over. It says that this one does mattify. I don't feel that it mattifies very much, to be honest. I feel like when I use this on my nose gets possibly even more oily than it usually would, so you definitely need to powder down throughout the day. It doesn't do anything in the oil control situation, which sucks, but it does fill in your pores, it does fill in the fine lines around my eyes. I'll push it into my forehead area just to sort of blur over the lines that are in there, and I really do love this one. I just wish it controlled oil. I'm staying with the silicone based ones like the Benefit one. I've got the Smashbox Photo Finish Foundation Primer. I like this one because it controls oil for me. It keeps my foundation on a lot longer. It fills in like pores and sort of blurs over the fine lines. It is that silicone based product as well, so that is something to keep in mind if you don't like silicone products. This one, the POREfessional one, they are silicone based, but I really do like this one. I know they've got different variations, like they've got this one as an oil control, they've got this one as like a pore one. There's quite a few versions of this one. This is just the original one. I think I might try a few of the other versions as well because I really do like that one. So another sort of silicone based one I've got here is one from Innoxa, and this is the Skin Perfecting Pore Vanishing Cream. It's basically their dupe for the Benefit POREfessional. This one is a bit weird to me. It's like a really weird orange colour, and it doesn't blend into my skin very nicely. It blends into my skin, but it sort of dries and leaves my skin, you can see patches of the colour on my skin. They're not very flattering on me. Maybe if you're a bit lighter you'd be able to get away with it, but personally I think there's a bit of a missed product. Like, I think they really wanted to go and do a dupe for the Benefit one, but it's not. It's nowhere near as good as the Benefit one if you ask me. It's just, I don't know, it feels a little bit weird. It's almost like there's something just not quite right with the formulation of this one. Another sort of silicone based one is the one from TheBalm, and this is just Time Balm Face Primer Based Visage. It's the same thing. It is a silicone based one. It says for a flawless face. Yeah, same thing. It's very similar to the Smashbox one. I just prefer the Smashbox one over the Balm one. I feel like the Balm one doesn't help my foundation as a whole stay on my face all that long. I feel like it does break down by the end of the day, whereas the Smashbox one, I don't get that. Another primer here, I've got the OCC Skin Primer. This is a really hydrating primer. It's sort of like a liquid, as you can see here. You do need to shake it, but it just is really hydrating. It just puts a lot of moisture on your skin. I feel like you do need to let it sit for maybe 5 minutes to let it all soak into your skin, because it can leave your skin feeling very wet and shiny, but once it soaks in, it's okay, and it certainly does help the foundation stay on my skin a lot better. It doesn't cover pores or anything like that, but I'm not expecting that one to, because it's not a pore filler. Like, it's just a really nice hydrating one that you could apply on your face. And the last two I've got here, this is the Napoleon Perdis Autopilot Pre-Foundation Skin Primer. This is like a white moisturizer, thin moisturizer consistency. This one is very fragranced. To me, I don't particularly like this one. This one is one of those primers that sort of started out the primer revolution, I think. Like, from what I remember, this has been around for years and years, and Napoleon, you know, he's got his whole not to prime is a crime sort of catchphrase to go along with it. I don't really feel like this does anything. I feel like it doesn't cover pores, it doesn't cover fine lines, it doesn't really keep my foundation on a lot. It does add a bit of hydration. It is quite more hydrating, but it is also very fragrant, so if you have got sensitive skin, maybe not for you because of this strong fragrance. Similar to that one, I've also got the NARS Pro Prime Pore Refining Primer. This one is like that one in consistency. It is that really sort of thin white cream consistency. Unlike the Napoleon one, which leaves my skin feeling quite oily and greasy, this one soaks into my skin almost instantly and leaves my skin feeling amazing. I really like this one. It says it's Pore Refining Primer. I don't really feel like it does fill in the pores like the Benefit one, so if I use this one, I do tend to use the Benefit one anyway and just sort of pat into my pores and any fine lines. But it is a really nice primer. It has still got a little bit of fragrance in it, not as much as the Napoleon one, but it still has a little bit of fragrance in it, so do keep that in mind. But it's just a really nice primer. It hasn't got oil in it as well, like it doesn't do anything bad to my skin. It's just a really nice everyday primer. But it is a bit more on the expensive side, being NARS, so that is something else to keep in mind. So that kind of wraps up my primer collection that I've got for my face. I've got a mixture of light reflecting ones, hydrating ones, and also pore filling primers there as well. So it's a good variety of primers that I've got there that I've tried over the time. So yeah, I'll let you know in my favorites, my top primer video, which ones I like the most. Don't forget to get over and check out Skincare Month if skincare is something that interests you. Otherwise, stay tuned for next week. I'll be doing my eye primers, and I'll continue down my makeup, what am I calling this? My makeup collection. You know, I'll be going through my makeup collection over time. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up if you liked it. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.